There is a way to skip lengthy greeting messages for ACE contracts by talking to the ANHQ guard for regular missions, performing a trick to regain control, and then quickly starting the ACE contract. However, this trick cannot be used in 100% speedruns because the ANHQ guard disappears when you complete all AN missions for a chapter, which must be done before attempting the ACE contract. While playing with this trick, I discovered a method to skip ACE contract dialogue, as well as skip any HQ greeting dialogue by overriding the audio channels. But first, a little bit of background information. Each faction appears to have their own designated audio channel for spoken dialogue, which is used for idle voice lines, alert and combat lines, and death sounds. It's important to know that the function for selecting the mission that you're going to start executes as soon as you start talking to an HQ guard, while the transition into an HQ is programmed to happen when the greeting message from an HQ guard ends. To do this, you must know how to regain control while talking to an HQ guard. Just press the switch weapon button before talking to the guard, then talk to them. You must talk to the guard before you finish putting away the weapon you were first holding, or you won't regain control. That is how the existing ACE dialogue skip works. You start a normal AN mission, then by talking to Colonel Garrett you overwrite the select mission with the ACE contract. But because the normal HQ guard is still talking, you enter the AN HQ for the ACE contract as soon as his line, which is very short, ends. With this new trick, there are 3 methods for overwriting the audio channels for an HQ guard. The first is by shooting. If you regain control while talking to an HQ guard, then shoot a member of the same faction so that they say something, it will overwrite the audio channel, ending the HQ guard's line early and bringing you inside their HQ.
Best keep your mouth shut.
Let's time one of the longer voice lines.
Best keep your mouth shut when you meet the boss.
Now let's see how much time we save by cutting it off early.
Best keep your mouth shut.
The second method is explosions. Very similar to shooting, but it does have some special properties that we'll talk about later. With rockets, the technique is the same, just regain control and aim at a target. With grenades, you can time a throw in advance, or burn the grenade's fuse and talk to the guard to throw it automatically. The third method is by unloading the sound actor and forcing his audio to stop. Basically, you're going to move far enough away from the talking NPC to force him to be unloaded from the game's memory. The easiest way to do this is to regain control, pause the game, and medevac. However, this causes the game to hang for several seconds, so you're not going to save time. Alternatively, you can use a challenge contract that teleports the player, such as the one given by this NPC near the Mafia headquarters in the Northern Province. Regain control while talking to the HQ guard and accept the challenge contract. However, this is even less useful than using a medevac because you need to pick up a specific NPC, bring them to the faction headquarters, and the game will still hang for a couple of seconds once you initiate this skip. Unfortunately, these tricks will not work with ACE contract dialogue. Special NPCs such as Colonel Garrett have their own designated audio channel, and killing AN soldiers will not overwrite his audio.
Good news, you're cleared for assault. I'll give you the details inside.
You can unload him using a medevac or a challenge contract, however you'll still lose way more time than you gain by skipping his dialogue. As you can see from the 2 clips being compared below, this is just not feasible in a speedrun, even if you ignore the amount of time it takes to set up. This is where those special properties for explosions that I mentioned earlier come into play. It seems that if you time an explosion just right, you can skip the dialogue entirely. For my testing, this appears to be a 1-frame window where you can start the dialogue with Colonel Garrett, but he has not yet received the invincibility that HQ guards get while speaking. So his dialogue will end on the same frame that it starts, skipping the wait entirely. However, the timing on this is fickle. If you talk to Colonel Garrett too early, he will become invincible and you'll have to wait for his line to finish. If you talk to him too late, you'll kill him and you'll need to leave the area to make him respawn. Because contract warping exists, I don't anticipate that this would save too much time on any percent, no helo, or pacifist runs. But for ACC, which is all cards and contracts, and 100% runs, this does have the potential to save some time.